They finally did it. We've been talking about it for months. It sometimes felt like it was never going to happen, but here we are. Amazon is officially killing off the Kindle Oasis. In today's video, I want to talk about two things that recently happened in the Kindle world. The first is how Amazon is discontinuing the Kindle Oasis, but secondly, I want to talk about a recent software update that is not getting the attention that it deserves. Now, before diving into all the Kindle Oasis news, I do have a special announcement that I want to share. I just published my book today as of making this video. It's titled Just One More Chapter. Now look, I know I make a lot of videos about reading books on a Kindle or e-readers, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which piece of tech you're using. What does matter is having a daily reading habit. And if you're struggling to build that habit and you want some advice and some tips and tricks, I wrote this book for you. I've only been reading consistently for about 4 years now, so I am not this reading expert who's been reading their entire life, but I do know a thing or two about building a habit and becoming a bookworm because I did it recently and I put all my best tips into this short book that only takes 1 hour to read. The book is currently for sale on Amazon, or you can buy the EPUB file directly from my website, link down below for all the details. Alright, going back to the Kindle Oasis now, if you didn't know, the version that's currently for sale has been around since 2019. That is half a decade ago. I know 2019 doesn't sound like that long ago, but 5 years is a long time in the world of tech. Now what Amazon seems to be doing is slowly phasing out the Oasis, very similar to what happened to the Kindle Voyage, where they just completely stopped making that device and did not refresh it anymore. They completely killed off that Kindle lineup. Now in this situation, there is a chance that Amazon might come out with an entirely new Kindle to replace the Oasis, but if you ask me, I think the Signature Edition and the Kindle Scribe are already good enough to fill the void of the Oasis, so there's a good chance as well that nothing will come out at all. Now to be clear, you could still buy a Kindle Oasis depending where you live and how much money you're willing to spend. There are certain models still available, but the one that I usually look at, the most popular one that was in the United States for $249, the one that I bought back in 2020 is no longer in stock and it seems like it's gone forever. Now what really confirmed things for me and put the nails in the coffin was when I went to the other Kindle product pages, for example the Kindle Paperwhite, and scrolled down to the comparison chart. The Kindle Oasis is no longer listed there. Now I don't know about you, but I personally think that if Amazon is removing it from the comparison chart, they do not want people seeing it as an option, so I think it's going to be gone for good. Now I would love to hear what you think about all of this. Are you hopeful that a new Kindle Oasis is still on the horizon, or are you happy that it's gone now finally? Leave a comment down below. Now putting the Kindle Oasis news aside, something else recently happened in the past couple months, and that was a software update to all the recent Kindles. Now ever since the Kindle Scribe came out, I think seeing software updates for all the regular Kindles has been a bit of a rare thing these days, so I was really happy to see this because this update actually brought over some quality of life improvements. All these improvements are focused on the Settings app. Now the Settings app was never really a bad thing to begin with, but they did make it a lot more simple to navigate and they moved things around. I want to show you some new things that I found. First, if you go to the device options section, you'll see a new section over here for software update, which very clearly tells you which software version you're on and there's a new update available to you. Previously, checking your software version and figuring out if there was an update or not required a few extra taps and it wasn't as easy to figure out. Now it is front and center. Speaking of software updates, if you go to the device info section, you now have an option over here for what's new. Now again, I don't know if exactly this was there before or not, but it definitely seems more prominent now where I can see the change log of all the updates that recently happened, and it's very convenient to see if you missed an update what changed in recent months. Another very popular setting that was recently moved is the display cover feature. They actually renamed it to just showing covers on lock screen. If you go to the screen and brightness section, you'll find the setting moved over here, and it just makes a lot more intuitive sense to have that in this location, as well as the name of it. Display cover always felt a bit ambiguous. One other setting that I found personally useful was under the home and library section for turning off the Audible content on your library screen. I never liked seeing all my Audible audiobooks mixed in with all my Kindle books, and now I'm not sure this setting was there before or not, but I definitely found this now, and it just completely turns off all my Audible content on my Kindle from the get-go. Moving right along, another very welcome update is in the date and time section. When daylight savings happened recently, a lot of people were complaining that their time wasn't updating correctly on their Kindle. Now you have the option to choose between automatically setting your time or manually adjusting it if you want. One more setting that recently moved was the privacy setting. Now, before, this setting was really buried away in the advanced options, and I always suggest turning it off. They actually made it a bit easier to find now in a more prominent location. And what this setting does is actually share information on your Kindle with Amazon for more personalized ads. I don't like sharing all this extra data, so I suggest turning it off. And the last general update you're going to see in the settings app over here is a smaller font being used. Now, this will probably be annoying for a lot of people because it's much smaller compared to before, but I actually think there's a really big benefit here. Previously, some settings would be hidden. You had to scroll up and down to find them. Now, because the font is smaller, they seem to be fitting all on one page, which I think is worth it. There is no setting that is hidden anymore. They're all right there available to you. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to see my predictions for the rest of the year in terms of what's coming in the Kindle world, I have a whole video talking about my 2024 Kindle predictions. Link for that on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.